Afternoon, everybody. I've got the game on mute. I'm not a man for the watch-alongs, but it's nice. It's lovely to see all of you in a chat. You've seen the team. I'm sure a lot of you are thinking along a similar sort of lines as I am. Yes, Gonzo was doing his hair, and so excuse me being late. I'm not used to this. It's all technology to me. So the game's on. Harry Kane is leading the team out. Harry Kane, the Hurricane, as we like to call him. He's leading the team out, but it's an interesting team. Is it a dodgy team? I think it might be a slightly dodgy team. So he took all these right backs. Let me know if you can hear me, by the way. Otherwise, I need to sort out my audio. I haven't got my headphones on because nobody is speaking back to me. I've got the telly on mute because we don't want a, we don't want a copyright ban particularly. So I'm relying on you guys for the atmosphere. And we're going to be interacting in the chat. If anyone wants to come and join me, you're more than welcome. Just let me know, and I will supply you with the link. Hello, Ryan, mate. He says, hi, Gonzo. Home alone watching the footy with a TV. Point out to the garden so we can sit outside. That's not a bad idea. It's actually not that hot in here at the moment, but I expect it to get hotter because it's as the sun comes around the garden, it sort of heats this as well. Insulated as it is, it heats it up. But okay, look, we got 5 minutes. Let's have a quick talk about the team. Thanks, Christopher. He says, fine, we can hear you. That's great. Appreciate that feedback, mate. What's going on with the right backs? I mean, let's not pretend that Kieran Trippier is a better left back than Luke Shaw, who's been dropped from the squad, by the way, or Ben Chilwell. They're both better left backs than him. It seems a bit muddled. I'm more than happy to be proven wrong. He has to prove it wrong. It has to be proven wrong. He's gone for the two centre halves, which I think is why he's picked Phillips in the middle. I like Phillips. Good. Hello, blimey. I'll let you know. Hopefully sorry, I just saw somebody in the crowd there. Hopefully we can sync our timing of this. So I'll tell you as soon as it kicks off. Then if you just wonder why I'm telling you the time, it's so as you can hopefully we will sync our TVs together. But I'm watching it on BBC HD, so if anybody, I guess most of you are, so hopefully we're sort of all in time. Anyway, I can see in all the score predictions. Andy's gone 1-1. Steve, that's just no reason why I can't pop this up. There you go. Steve, Onyx, Harry. I think we'll win. I think it'll be a very, very different game if we get an early goal. I can't be the only one that's disappointed that there's no Jack Grealish, right? But Sancho was dropped from the squad. That's a little bit. God blimey! I tell you what, the cameraman's choosing some choice angles. Put it that way. The last time we said a midfield was past it. Pirlo Rectors. That's true. They've got some really good technical players. I think he's taken a risk. I do think, as I say that, no, I don't think he's taken a risk. I think Gareth Southgate seems to want to please everybody and not upset people. I'd like him to be a bit more ruthless. I'd like him just to pick his team. Steve, hello, mate. Let's just this is it. I mean, this is the thing, isn't it? I think, look, I love Phil Foden, but I don't need to keep saying I love Phil Foden. Everyone loves Phil Foden. I'm not saying Phil Foden should be out of the team. I'm not saying Mason Mount should be out of the team. And I'm not even saying that Phil Foden can't be like the man of the tournament or anything like that. He really can. He's so skillful. But I do think Jack Grealish got the potential to be one of the players of the tournament. I mentioned it in one of the videos I did with Gio. When we get to the end of the tournament, have the team of the tournament, would not surprise me at all if Grealish was in that team, if he were to play all the games. And one thing I do wonder about, and we're just about to kick off, by the way, I'll just say this really, really quickly. I think out of the last 5 games Grealish has started, he's won man of the match 4 times. Or out of the last 4, he's won man of the match 3 times. What I would ask Gareth Southgate is, how many man of the matches? We've established that 4 man of the matches doesn't get you into the first team. How many does Grealish need to do? Is it 10? Is it 20? We've established it's higher than 4. I don't know. It's a bit funny. Anyway, Glenn doesn't really. Where's Glenn? Glenn, there you go. Doesn't really trust Southgate, but he's changed his badge to the 3 Lions. And Irish Tommy, who you's welcome to join me if you want some, mate. Is Trippier left back is bizarre. It is. It is. And an Irishman telling you it's bizarre. It's not just an English point of view. It is a little bit weird. Yes, and Mr. Collingwood, M. Collingwood. I agree. I agree with that. Okay, right then. Right, you'll have to excuse me. I'm not really used to all this malarkey. I won't be as smooth and as slick as Charlie. But hopefully we'll provide you with a bit of a watch along. I've got a pie with a fork. I can't prepare. I think the pie is in there, by the way, right? I think I should have gone with a spork. Is that what it's called? A spork? I think it's called a spork. I think I should have gone with a spork. I don't know. I've got a cup of tea. I know it seems hot, but do you know, drinking a hot drink lowers your temperature in the hot weather, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not. And I've got some llama alpaca cordial. It's not made from the juices of a llama or an alpaca. Andy, there's no Pringle crisps. The referee's checking his watch or he's touching his wrist and he's kicked off. So hopefully you're all in sync with that. John Stones has hoofed the ball forward, which is a great start. And it's, there you go. It's a throw-in to Croatia. Harry, do you know how Harry Kane does the old backing in? He tries to foul. He tries to make out that people have fouled him, but he actually fouls them. I don't mind him doing it for England. He did. Remember, he did it at Cresswell. So let's just have a little look how we're lining up. It's 26 seconds in. I will keep saying that for the first few minutes, just so you can sync your TV out. Mings. So Mings left centre half. Stones is his partner. There's Trippier, of course, at left back, using his right foot. On the right, we've got Kyle Walker at right back. You never know with these right backs in Southgate. He can play these right backs anywhere. Jordan Pickford in goal, of course. Who's I tell you what made me laugh about Pickford in goal. They've got quite a high press there, Croatia, and so we've hoofed it long again. The justification for picking Pickford in goal was because he distributes the ball better. So he'll pick a goalkeeper because he distributes the ball better, but he won't pick the midfielder that distributes the ball best. I don't know. Figure that one out. That's like this Ionix has said, "See, you're the world's best dad. Mine was a fake." And clearly, I'm sorry. Maybe mine's just true this week, and then when you got yours was true. I can't be that good a dad really at the moment, can I? Because I'm sat in a cave with me pie, me drink, double drink. I'm not driving. I'm driving later, so I'm not obviously drinking anything more potent than llama juice, and tea. I'm doing all right, Sir Daddy. I'm doing all right. You all right? Hope you're all right. Okay, Tyrone Mings using his left foot. This is the point, by the way. So Harry Kane likes a cross. He does a lot of things. He drops deep and he does, and all that sort of stuff. But he sort of thrives on crosses, doesn't he? We've got both of our wide players, so that would be Sterling and Trippier, are right-footed. So we can't do the early cross from that side. In fact, we can't do the early cross from the other side with Foden because he's left-footed. That being said, he's highly technical, very, very good. If anyone can, Foden can. I do like Phillips though. I'm gonna stop moaning about it now because let's just hope we win. A bit soft there, if I've got to say, from the referee. 2 minutes 39 seconds, 2 minutes 40 seconds. If you're on time with me, yeah, we don't want the referee to be too soft, do we? We want to let the game flow a little bit. Anyway, welcome everybody. This is very, very nice, isn't it? Well, I say it's very nice. You might think otherwise. So Daddy's in America at 6 a.m. Well done for getting up, mate. Well done for getting up. Well done. Must have set your alarm for. Did you? Did you set your alarm for 5:30, or have you literally just bounced out of bed? Philip's slightly more advanced, I've noticed, on a couple of occasions than Declan at this point. We need the pace. We definitely need the pace. So I totally understand Sterling being in there. He's just won the ball back and then lost the ball, which is fine. Declan, go on, son. Having said that, they're breaking on us at the moment, Croatia, and now they're going to go. It's Foden and Walker trying to stand them up, forcing them back, and this is clearly why we've got the two central defensive midfielders there. Hello, he's trying to get the cross in. Looks like he's sold Walker there. Not actually sold him, about 50 million. It's Modric just trying to dance his way through. Is that a freak? I mean, he is. I'll tell you what, I didn't think there was anything particularly wrong there. I think. Oh, no, sorry, it was the referee. The referee kicked the ball. Oh, dear, Modric shouting at the referee. DM me the link on Twitter, mate. Of course I will. Of course I will. Give me 5 minutes, Tommy. Give me 5 minutes, and I'll let me just finish my tea, and I will DM you the link. You can be our impartial observers. This is like a dad's version of Charlie's Watchalong. I feel I must behave myself. No, Jeffrey, you haven't got to behave yourself, not at all. I'll tell you what. Oh, Dalic, where's his tie? You can't do the jacket and the t-shirt, can you? You know, I've got no problem with it. Clearly, you've got no problem with the t-shirt, right? But, you know, surely if you're going with a jacket, the shirt, right? The shirt and the tie. Okay, here's Sterling breaking. He's playing Foden in. Great first touch by Foden. Is he going to try and shape it in? He is. Oh, he's hit the post. Oh, it's a great effort by Foden. Hopefully, because it's a watch-along, you all saw that, right? If someone's just doing this as a listen-along, we had a counter-attack. Sterling was central. Foden was on the right. He played Foden in. Foden checked in on his left foot and curled it. You know, just hit the post, hit the bottom of the post. In the bottom left-hand corner. Good technique. Good play. His first touch was excellent. Excellent. Yes, tea and llama juice is the way forward. Or alpaca squash. Sheep. A sheep with a long neck. Okay, well, that's something. We've hit the post. Decent. I can't wait. I can't. Oh, for goodness sake. Walker's just passed it to Modric. Why? I mean, you know, look, ideally pass it to somebody in a white shirt. But if you're going to pass it to a Croatia player, don't pass it to Modric. His technique worries me. That's why I wouldn't have played Walker. I would have played Reece James. I think he's a little bit more. It was vintage Collingwood. There was vintage Walker. Hey, thanks, Jeffrey. That's nice of you, mate. Oh, you are listening, Jeffrey. You are listening. You're not watching. If I know there's people listening, I will try and be a little bit more descriptive, like I was there. I mean, it's a lovely bend on the shot. Oh, and you know what? When Foden hit the post, it bounced back off the post, and that could have easily hit the goalkeeper's back and sort of, you know, ricocheted into the goal. And lucky. I'm pleased for the fans there today that they're today. It's a beautiful day for those of you that might be watching overseas and aren't watching it on the telly. And just listening in. It's a very hot. I don't know. It might be about 26 degrees, 27 degrees. It's hot today. Lovely day for football. The Wembley pitch looks like a carpet, a patterned carpet, like it's more like a chessboard, really. So Mason Mount's broken down the left wing. He's being shepherded. He's done well to get out of there. He's retained possession. He's waiting for support. Giving it to Sterling. Oh, step overs. A little bit of. Oh, it's a nice trick from Sterling. He's giving it back to Mount. Oh, I'll tell you what, that's very good. Phillips shielded the ball well. Raheem Sterling, he got tackled, really. We appealed for a penalty. There's no penalty. But well done. Well done. I mean, it was quite promising, quite good. Really good strength, good hold up. Oh. Do you know what? He was on the side. Oh, do you know what? His technique just let him down a little bit there, Sterling. It just let him down. You can't watch and listen to you. You're about 1 minute behind, Rob. Is that right? That's a shame. Sorry, mate. I said you should watch it. You should watch it. Don't need to listen to it. You should go and watch it live so you can enjoy it. What? Oh! Hit that! Somebody hit the ball. Okay, so we had a corner. The ball came out. It was Phillips, I think. You know, with a second ball, hit the shot on a half volley from about 20 yards. A really good effort as well. England playing well. You have to say England are playing well. Jeffrey says, what's the difference in position for Mount and Foden here? Mount, I think it'd be fair to say Mount is starting a little bit deeper. And I think, I mean, it's just about to pop up. It's just popping up on the left again now. I would suggest, looking at it with my very average tactical eye, that Foden is restricted to the right. He's just on the ball now. He's just passed it back to Stones, who's in a very advanced position, being forced to check back. I would suggest that Foden is very much restricted to the right. Maybe Mount has a freer role. So he seems to be going a little, say mostly central, going a little bit left. I guess he's sort of playing on the number number 10. Mixie up 30 seconds behind, so I paused it. That don't make sense, does it? No, if you're 30 seconds in front, you pause it. That was probably the joke. Phillips doing well. I'll tell you what, he's playing well. He's playing well. He carries on playing. He's just won the ball back there, by the way. That's what he's playing well. It's going to be hard to drop, really. All right, Gonzo, Lincoln, all right, Gonzo, mate. I was on YouTube looking for some tips on how to apply silicone around the shell. You saw my, I don't know, that's had about 3 million views. That's had about 3 million views, that one. There's 2 on there. One of them's had about 500,000 views. One of them's had about 3 million views. Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. The best video, the best. The biggest and the most successful video I've ever done is me putting silicone around a shower tray. There you go. Anyway, I hope it helps you. Oh, pause my stream. You put. I'm very confused. I'm too thick for this. Can I don't know. Anyway, yeah. So mine's not on the stream. It's on BBC. Everyone should be watching it on the BBC. It's free, isn't it? I guess unless you're overseas, and you will have to stream. I don't even know if it's the red button or what. I'm watching it on the Skybox. I don't use Sky. Oh, Harry Kane. He shaped like he was going to shoot. He's actually delicately passed it to Foden, who squared it. It's not a great ball from Foden there. Mount's picked it up. Sterling on the left. They're trying to play. There's a little triangle trying to be played now between. It doesn't matter. Sterling's passed it. To Modric. They all like passing it to Modric for some reason. Maybe there is a delay. The trouble is, GP, there are so many people watching it. Oh, you pause me on YouTube. Of course. The YouTube doesn't time up with what I'm saying. Of course. Sorry. I don't know. You see, I'm new to this. I don't know all this stuff. That makes sense, of course, because I'm 30 seconds. But yeah, sorry. Okay. So at the moment, right now, I'm on 11 minutes, 50 seconds. Trippier's taking a throw in. Good throw-in, to be fair. That's obviously why he's in the team, Trippier, to take these fine throw-ins. He's on the ball now. He's actually crossed it in. Harry Kane's headed and flicked it on to a Croatia player. Fortunately, not flicked on to Modric at this time. Miggsy's watching it on BBC iPlayer. Tommy, I've not forgotten about you, mate. I just need to sort my headphones out because I wasn't expecting any of this. Okay, Mr. Collingwood. I don't know what M stands, but I'm going with Mr. Can we go, Mr. Collingwood? Mr. Collingwood is only 5 seconds ahead. To be honest, for those of you that aren't watching the game, I do believe that I think England look the better team at the moment. Any Watchalong snacks today, Jeffrey? You missed, my friend. You missed. I have a pie. Which I actually cooked and then put it back in a box because I couldn't be bothered to wash up my plate, and a fork. So I will eat that pie at some point. Oh, that's a really good interception by John Stones. I've got some malted milk biscuits up in the house. I might call my daughter to bring me down the malted milk biscuits. I made a. Happy Hammer says I can't get it here in Borneo, as I didn't pay for the full sports package on Astro. So you're not watching. Okay, right. I will try and keep you Borneo. Nice in Borneo, right? We'll try and keep you abreast of the. I'm so juvenile. I can't see. I can't. Why can't I? I'm 47 years of age. I can't say abreast without thinking something rude. We'll keep you abreast of the goings on. Mostly England with more of the possession, and to be fair, they look quite resolute. They do look quite resolute, Croatia, but but we've got in behind a few times, you know. So, and we've hit the post already. So, and got into the box a few times. So it doesn't look too bad. It doesn't look too bad at all. That is very, very kind of you, Jane. Very kind. You've paid for my pie. That is very kind. It's very, very much appreciated. Thank you. I don't know what a super sticker is. What's a super sticker? I don't know what you get for that. I get eventually in about 60 days' time, I get a check in the post from YouTube, which will pay for my pie. But I don't know what you get. I don't know what you get. But thank you. Thank you very much. I don't know what the super sticker is. Come on, boys. Come on. I say come on. I'm not frustrated. It's okay. I've actually got, Joe, I've got blue tits nesting outside my bedroom window. That's all right. I don't mind. They're not aggressive or aggressive blue tits. Yeah, they dive bomb me in the morning. No, they're very nice. Very nice. I help them out. Sometimes the magpies come down and try and get in the thing. Shoo, I say. Shoo. Anyway, okay, we've picked up the second ball. Phillips has picked up the second ball. He's looking really good, to be honest with you, Phillips. Sterling has just played a 1-2 with Mount, who's trying to link up with Sterling quite a lot. Harry Kane's drifted, is the furthest left wide player at the moment. A cross has gone in, and Harry Kane's basically standing like he's going to take a throw in. I don't know how that happened. That being said, he's just drifted inside and he picked up the ball. Oh, he did. Shouldn't criticise. No referee. Come on. Thank you. Thank you very much. Okay, Phillips is playing well. Phillips is playing very well, as you've probably heard. He intercepted the ball well. To be fair, he probably did foul the Croatian player. But then the Croatian player, the number 8, whose name I don't know. You'll know. You'll either know or you won't care. Then fouled Phillips. He's playing very, very well. In my office working today, watching it on my computer. Chuck, hello, mate. You're a hard worker, Chuck. Chuck, don't muck around. He's okay. So we've got a free kick too far out to score. That'd be great. Wouldn't it be great if we scored and that was clipped? With me saying we're too far out to score. Oh, we've scored. I don't know why Alan Partridge was commentating on it. It's too far out to score. We've not tried to score. We've chipped it up to Harry Kane, who I think he tried to score with his Adam's apple. I don't know what. I didn't. It was too high for a chest, too low for a header. He tried to apple it in. He would have been offside anyway. I don't know what he did. Let's have a look. What did he do? He jumped up. Oh no. Actually, he was trying to handball it, but Rebic's shoulder got in the way first, as happens. Okay, Glenn, Gonzo, what do you think of the AZN? $1.99 per month, great value. I've not looked into it. I know what they are. They're the boxing thing. I think Canelo's on them. I know Eddie Hearn has got something to do with it. Pretty sure it won't stay at $1.99. What I did want to know is how has that impacted Hearn's deal with Sky Sports to feature boxing? Because surely that's to be some sort of exclusivity to the app. I do wonder. Do you know Antidosh's only got one fight left? Not in his life on his current deal. That's going to be really, really interesting. Of the players dressed out for England today, which is the most likely to leave the clubs this summer? Well, not him. Not Foden. He's not going anywhere, that's for sure. Phillips again. Okay, it was a bit of a foul. Oh my god! I'll tell you what. He's playing like Action Man. Action Man. I don't think Action Man plays football. If Action Man played football and was real and wasn't a doll, he'd be playing like Calvin Phillips. He's really good. Crikey! I'll tell you what. If he keeps this up, and I've already said it, it'd be really hard to drop. Oh, okay. Rob's sorted it. He's back in the room. Paused. He's paused me on YouTube. Rice will be linked to everyone under the sun. That's true. Hold on. Oh, Mount's done well. He's checked inside. That's a very clever ball. He's played a reverse ball to Trippier, who had to check back on his right foot for obvious reasons. We've retained possession. I'm quite impressed with this. They're still holding out, though. I was going to call them Austria, Croatia. Austria are definitely... We will not be scoring against Austria today. That much is true. Foden's dripped into the middle to pick up the ball. You can see why I'm not a commentator, can't you? Get the team wrong, as Pete says, Peter dripping. Divna, hello from Serbia. Hello, Divna. Welcome. Okay, a little chipped ball there from Raheem Sterling. Kane played to Mount's left again. That's a really good ball by Mount to Sterling. Come on, do something. He's got a chance here. Oh, Sterling! I just feel his technique lets him down. I mean, Mount is playing very well here. Very well. A cross in from Walker, which didn't find its target. I've not got anything against them, but I do often get the impression that Walker and Sterling don't have much technique. And they both play for Man City, which is weird, right? Arthur. Oh, thank you very much. Buy some chips to go with my pie. Thank you. I'm not going to go now. I'm not going to leave you. I'll retrospectively buy the chips. Thank you, my friend. That's very, very kind of you. Thank you. I mean, we've got possession here. We've got... There seems to be this little gang of Trippier, Mount and Sterling who are sort of getting together. They're not mugging people or anything like that, but they're doing things on the left. We don't seem to have the same... a grouping, the same sort of interchange of play on the right side at the moment. But you know what? It's looking pretty good down that side. Where's Jordan? What's Jordan saying? Just came on to expect you to do a watch along, Gonzo. I wish you could do more watch alongs more often. Do you know what, Jordan? Thank you, mate, and nice to have you. Have you here, my friend. Oh, that was a really good ball by Mount to Sterling. A wasted opportunity, I should say. We should have at least had a shot there. Yeah, Jordan, we just don't have time. We have to build up shows. We just got so many videos. And I often think, particularly for the West Ham ones, I myself and Gio like to come on to the review, not steaming, not drunk, you know what I mean? But I mean, it's quite hard to do that after you've been sort of guessing and waffling about that very subject for 2 hours, which is why I don't. But thanks, mate. Hello. It's my daughter. What are you doing? I might need some biscuits, please. What have we got? David Hall, hello. He's watching New Zealand. Hello, David. How's my daughter watching this? I've also got the telly. Oh, of course, they're good. They like that, kids, aren't they? Phone, telly. The players seem to be very good technically, but not in the final third, says GP. How do I purchase a couple of those T-shirts? James Archer. Have you seen James, by the way? Have you seen? Do you know it's Declan Rice on the back, you know. hammerschat@gmail.com. hammerschat@gmail.com, please. And you'll get hold of Gio and he will sell you a T-shirt or two. If you're a patron, you get a discount, so just double check that first. So maybe if you are, go through Patreon. Sterling is all about speed, same as Walker. Migsy, absolutely. Irish Tommy says Mount is playing very well. You'll be on in a minute. Irish Tommy, my friend. My daughter says I'm watching you with Jessie, my other daughter, whilst watching the game. It's all very... This is what we want. This is what we want. I'm just saying, Chloe. Good tackle from Tyrone Mings. Good tackle from Tyrone Mings. Really good. Firm and fruity, some might say. Actually, you know what, Chloe? I've got some of them sweet chili crisps. You might not have seen them. I think when I went shopping, I snuck them in and hid them somewhere. There's some sweet chili crisps. Don't be sneaking any ice creams while I'm down in the shed either. Sorry, there's a bit of parenting going on here. You don't normally get out on a watch along, do you? That's for sure. Children being told off. Right, let's get Irish Tommy in. I need to find the link. Invite, copy to clipboard. That's fine. Irish Tommy. Where do we find Irish Tommy? On Twitter, usually. Where's Twitter? Twitter.com. That's me. Irish Crocky. I've not been on it for ages. I really should reply to some people. Anyway, sorry if you're on here and you're one of the people I haven't replied to. I can't even find Irish Tommy. Where is it? It's been so long since I've been on here. Hold on. Croatia attacking. You watch it for me. I'm trying to find. Where is he? Where's Tom? Tommy, can you send me a message, please, so I can reply to you? You know what I'm like technically. You know how it goes. While you're doing that, you're gone. Have you been banned? You've been banned for being naughty from Twitter. Why are you doing that? I'm going to get the headphones. I'm watching it on silent. Pop that on there. He won't know. He's going to be 30 seconds late, Tommy. I'll wait for him. I reckon he's been banned. Tommy's been banned. Irish Tommy is the stud. Yes, he is. Who's ordering a roast dinner? Everyone else is loving how Rice is taking charge, telling everyone else where to go. Yeah. Chloe, don't worry. I don't want the crisps, darling. I've actually brought a pie down here. I was only joking, really. Come on. Oh, my God. Raheem Sterling's hit a shot. I think like David Beckham had a soccer school. It was a David Beckham soccer school. I think Raheem Sterling went to the Michael Antonio soccer school for shooting. Oh, sorry. There were some Croatian ladies waving at me there. Hold on, Tommy. Right, hold on. Sorry, we're back on that, aren't we? Where are you gone? At Tomster. Oh, this is all up. I've got to find Tom. Oh, no. Oh, Mings again. Tyro Mings. He's just passed it to Modric. They all passed out, but he did defend it very well, to be fair. Right, I see. This is the thing, Tommy. I'll search for people. Right, hold on. I'm not very good at this. Was it Tom? Hey, I found you. Oh yeah, I could have just done it on WhatsApp, couldn't I? Never mind. Here we go. Oh bloody hell! I'm so useless at technology. Invite. Copy to clipboard. It's crap. I'm so crap. Oh my goodness! I think Tyro Mings just let the ball bounce past him. Then, oh my goodness, that was bad. One good thing, one terrible thing. Oh, so bad at technology. I shouldn't really be doing this sort of thing. Paste. I think I've done it, Tom. I think we're on, mate. I think we're on. I think we'll be seeing you soon in the old stream. Okay. Sweet chili crisps. I don't want a crisp. Sorry, no. Everyone else is like, yeah, we've done that. Ordering roast dinner. Where's Gio and Charlie to help Gonzo? They know he's old, says GP. Well, look. Firstly, Gio is Scottish, and secondly, Charlie's Costa Rican. So I mean, neither of them have got any interest in this sort of thing. Foden's shot was just spot. I was going in, but just caught a defender's toe. There you go. I am good with the sealant gun, Glenn. This much is true. There's Tommy. He's coming. There he is. Hello, my English friend.
How are you doing, bud? You got there in the end.
Oh, I like your headphones.
Yeah, they're nice and comfy, and they got the speaker thing built. I have to keep it quite a ways away from me, otherwise apparently I sound very loud. So hopefully I'm not blowing anyone's ears off.
I don't think you are. Sorry, Jeffrey says Charlie's Costa Rican. I thought I knew him. Yeah. He's the thing is with the Costa Ricans, that you notice, they can actually grind coffee beans. And they've evolved differently, the Costa Ricans. They can grind coffee beans between their back teeth.
Oh, I thought you were going to say something else for a minute. I was going to say this is
no.
I've reached the watershed yet, Gonzo.
No, that's right. That's how. Listen, we've already established my children are watching in the other part of the house. So Charlie grinds coffee. That's what they do, and spit it out. So if you never buy Costa Rican coffee because it's all made in that way.
So you're drinking spit. Okay.
You're basically drinking. That's not true, by the way. Just in case, I don't want the Fair Trade Costa Rican Coffee Federation to sue me.
Imagine how many people you need for that. To fill coffee jar after coffee jar. That's the whole of Costa Rica, non-stop, 24 hours a day, chewing coffee beans.
You got to do what you got to do in the pandemic. That's why the Costa Rican economy has not been affected by the global downturn. They've just kept at it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They must have mouths like hamsters. Where they just can get loads in there. They got two big pouches.
They do. This coffee tastes funny though, Tom. Tell you, mate. So it's very familiar.
Needs a bit more saliva, mate.
It certainly does. I think we're doing okay so far, says Jordan. I wish we could play more attacking though. Look, we need to get. I was going to say we need to get behind them a bit more. What's your take on the wonderful England performance so far, mate?
Yeah, I think it's one of those where I think the Croatian manager will be relatively happy. They've protected their keeper pretty well. Harry Kane hasn't really had a sniff. And I think they probably would have said before the game, okay, if we can keep the ball away from Harry Kane in and around the box, that'll go a long way towards us getting something out of this game.
Do you mean he hasn't taken any cocaine before the game? He's not had a sniff. Yeah. He's had a that's why he's got a lackluster performance. But perhaps he should have one at half time.
Yeah, a little bit of Colombian marching powder, maybe.
Right. But not the Costa Rican stuff, because you know what they do with their cocaine, don't you? The Costa Ricans, they make it.
Yeah, I've heard rumors.
Yeah,
but no, I think Croatia will be relatively happy. Obviously they're playing more defensively. They're quite happy to let England have the ball and sit back a bit. Albeit they're not threatening whatsoever at the other end. So I think their manager will probably feel like they need to start working their way into the game and maybe pose a bit more of a threat going forward, because defensively so far it's been pretty straightforward for England. But I think from an England perspective, again, they're controlling the ball well. They're getting into some good positions in and around the box, but they just need a little bit of quality with that final ball. They've been in some very promising positions, particularly down the left. And it's just that final ball hasn't been there. So if they can sort that out, then certainly I think they'll threaten the goalkeeper. Like I say, that Foden was doing really well early on, but there's just nothing going down that right hand side for England at the moment.
No.
It's completely dried up down that side. So they've been kind of almost entirely going down the left with Mount and Sterling. So I think they need to mix it up just a little bit, move the ball over and back a bit quicker, just try and pull some defenders out of position a little bit. The tempo, I think, needs to raise, because it's not exactly blistering pace to this game, and that's making it easier for Croatia to defend.
Oh, good observations, mate. Good observations. Yeah, I totally agree with the right side bit down there as well. I just didn't see. It seems to be quite isolated in many respects, whereas Sterling seems to have players that are going to get around him and get busy with him, if you pardon the expression. But I also do wonder about the inclusion of Walker there as well. I do feel that Reece James would be a better partner for Foden there, ridiculously bearing in mind that Walker plays in the same club as Foden. I think he'd give him a little bit more support. I think he'd get closer to him. And I think, if Foden were to lend him the ball, we'd probably get it back rather than it being passed to Modric, which seems to be what's happening. Steve says we're looking a little bit flat after a good start. Glenn says, basically Southgate be happy. I think you're right about that. There we go. Yeah, I think that's the point. I think Southgate will be happy. But do you know what? Southgate will be happy with this after 60 minutes. This scoreline here, because he will feel that he can shape things from the bench.
Yeah, I don't think he'll have a huge amount to say at halftime. I think he'll say, "Look, we're playing well. We're controlling possession. We're not being threatened at the back." He'll be very happy with that. But I think he probably will say to them, "Look, let's just try and up the tempo a bit here. Move the ball a bit quicker. Let's look a little bit livelier in and around the box, particularly. Move the ball quicker." And he'll feel like they can make the breakthrough. And like I say, if England get a 1-0 out of this in a controlled performance, Southgate will be perfectly happy.
That was. I tell you what. That was exactly my point. Stones played a wonderful ball over to Foden. Foden controlled it beautifully with his left foot. Plays the ball back to Walker. Lends Walker the ball. And Walker just does a poor pass, and we lose possession. It's anyway, but this is the thing. It's not just Southgate. This is managers for you. Sometimes they like a player and they make up their minds, and you just think, well, how much evidence do you need to see?
Yeah.
I think you often split. Well, something I don't know what it's something that Mark Hughes said. Years, he's just done it again, Walker. It's something Mark Hughes said. I remember him. I think he was Blackburn manager. I think they were going to sign a player called Roque Santa Cruz. I think that was the name of the guy, right? And Hughes said, we did think about signing him. He said, but I think we should have done it earlier because we spent a little bit too much time thinking about what he couldn't do rather than what he could do. So he thought about what he could do. He's quite a big guy, and they started playing to his strengths and the rest of it. I do wonder if managers sometimes just look for that confirmation bias and the qualities that he sees in Walker. He's there it is. There's that speed again. Oh, look, there's the recovery tackle, and he's so focused on that, he's almost not noticing that I think already in this game he's given the ball away 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, absolutely. We've seen it so many times, even at club level. It happens all the time. Managers have players that they just like, that they really fancy, and they'll play them even when they're not in form.
Yes,
they'll give them 5 or 6 games to work their way back into form. Whereas another player, if he has a couple of bad games, all of a sudden he finds himself on the bench. So Walker definitely finds himself in favour. But the thing with me is today, because Croatia were always going to set up like this. They were always going to try and sit deep and defend and try and hit on the counter. So pace isn't really the issue in this game for England. So with the likes of Walker and Sterling, yeah, they've got plenty of pace, but it's not really necessary in this game because their pace is doing nothing for them. This is why I can't believe Grealish hasn't started, because Grealish is the kind of player that can make his own space in tight situations. He can skip past somebody and stretch a defence. So, he skips past the fullback and now a centre-back has to come across to try and cover. And now there's space for others to run into and exploit. And we're not seeing that. And, the main problem for me with Sterling is his end product is not great for me. It hasn't been all season at Man City. He's actually quite wasteful. And
yeah, I agree.
We've seen it already today. He's gotten himself into a couple of really good situations, and just that final ball has just been poor. So this is why I think Grealish would have been perfect for this game. The other thing, of course, is that Trippier. Sorry.
Oh, it's Sterling breaking. Sterling's breaking. Pass it to Foden. No, it wasn't a foul. To be fair, the guy was fairly tackled. Is that what you were watching? What minute are you on?
I'm a little ahead of you. I'm on 36:28.
Oh, I'm 36:36, which is a fantastic chest size.
Yeah, but the same thing is what I'm noticing here is that Mount is having to pull across to the left all the time to double up with Sterling on that side. Whereas if you had a natural left back in there instead of Trippier, the likes of Shaw and Chilwell, I mean, they would be actually the ones that would be doing the overlapping and the supporting of Sterling, which would allow Mount to stay more central, which I think would be better for England right now. Rather
Good observation, mate. Absolutely.
Over to the sideline all the time. So I think there's just a little bit of an imbalance here at the moment, which is self-inflicted, frankly, by Southgate.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a nice flick from Sterling, to be fair. But again, just didn't get the ball back quickly enough. From Kane, held onto the ball a little bit too long. Yeah, I'm not overly. I think you're getting here what I expected from the lineup. I mean, I said it earlier. When we started this, both our left-sided players are right-footed. Yeah. Now, you've got a case of that with one of the right-sided players is left-footed, but the other one is right-footed. Unfortunately, the one that's right-footed has not got particularly good technique, and he's not getting there to put any crosses over. So I do think one of the main benefits of Harry Kane, you're losing because no one's going to be able to cross the ball early to him, and he's great at timing that run. He's excellent in the air. Whilst he might not be 6'5", he's still quite a big guy. He's still whatever. He's 6 foot, 6'1", something like that, and he's so intelligent at the timing of his runs. Across the centre back and all the rest of it. It's almost like we've surrendered that part of the game. We won't be crossing today. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. There's just no crosses coming in whatsoever. Everything is just on the ground. But what I'm seeing as well is that because of this imbalance with Mount having to pull across to the left, which is obviously by design, is that we're essentially a lot of the time seeing Calvin Phillips playing as a number 10, which I can't wrap my head around. I mean, he's not a number 10. I mean, I think he's a fine footballer, but you need someone in there with that little bit of trickery who can find a brilliant pass. That's why I think Mount should be in there where Calvin Phillips
you're right.
playing.
You're absolutely right there. You're absolutely right.
With Grealish out on the left being supplemented by Chilwell or Shaw. I mean, that's a natural balance to me, which I think would help England here to try and break down these kind of two banks of four essentially that Croatia have got. And at the moment, England are struggling to open them up. I mean, they're trying to play some longer balls at times, which is fine, but you certainly can't rely on those.
No, well, there was a point. I don't know. Oh goodness sake, I've got to stop talking about the bloke. But there was a point in the some point in the 39th minute. Well, Trippier had the ball, and really the ball needs to go down the left quickly, but he couldn't do that because he can't pass the ball with his left foot. And he checked it, did the wrong thing or whatever, and Declan Rice told him off. I mean, it just happened about a minute and a half ago, something like that. But there was nothing else really he could do. I think he knew it had to come inside. It had to go across there because he just didn't know it any other way. Hold on, who's this? What's going on? Gravy Dave just got back from work. Trippier left back. Yes, Dave. That is true. I know it is a shock. We all got that shock.
I'd love to hear. I don't know if Southgate, hopefully after the game, but someone's got to ask him. Somebody's got to ask him. I mean, what's the thinking there? I can't understand it. But
well, you'd be really annoyed. I mean, it's one thing, right? I'll tell you this. Shaw would probably hand. Let's say, all right, fair play, Gov, if Chilwell starts, and vice versa. Fair enough. But if you are a left back, a bona fide left back, one plays for Chelsea, Champions League, one plays for Man United, good club, big club. And then a right back is getting ahead of you. Oh, goodness sake, Sterling. It was handball. I'm sorry, it was. Anyway, you'll see this in a second.
Yeah, that's.
So this is the centre half as well that we. It was handball.
Yeah.
But I'll tell you what, actually Sterling touched it with his hand first, ever so slightly. They both handballed it, basically.
Well, yeah, we're linked with him, aren't we?
Yeah, very much so. Yeah, very much so.
Not Sterling, obviously.
No, I would want him. No, I'm joking. I'm sure he'd be a fantastic player.
No, this is actually where having Trippier on the pitch might come in handy.
Absolutely. Right. So I'm gonna, when we score in a second, I'm gonna have to celebrate, even though I know the timing's not right. So just get my pen ready for when we score, and I would imagine it would be Trippier to take it. You'd think.
I'll tell you what. There's two small lads on that wall, Gonzo. Watch. He can go right over the top of their heads.
Where's a geezer lying on the floor? You got to have a geezer lying on the floor these days. It's all the rage.
Yeah. Watch the two short guys in the middle of that wall.
Go on.
He can go right over their heads if he wants.
I reckon Mount's going to take it. Maybe not. He's hit his head. He's hit the little fella's head.
No, I think the outside of the wall. I think it's probably the tallest player in.
I know. I'm only joking.
Yeah, was it Petrovic he hit? I think something. But
Avi, Chelsea are the Kings. Chelsea are the Kings. Not Chelsea is the Kings. Chelsea are the Kings. Don't mind you coming on as a Chelsea fan, mate, but come on, sort it out. Anyway.
Yeah, I think obviously coming up to half time now. You have to say so far hasn't been good enough for England in the final third, and it'll be interesting. I mean, this is a situation I think where a manager should be seriously thinking about getting some extra technical ability in and around that box. No, I don't think for a second Southgate's going to make that change at half time. But
no, I don't.
For me, I think you've got to be looking at someone like Grealish here get him on in and around that box on the left-hand side, because he's a player who can just make something happen out of nothing. Sterling really has been ineffective, given that he's gotten into some very good positions. Just too wasteful.
I'd agree. We've got something controversial, which I want to discuss in a minute. Once at half time, so I'm just going to leave that on the screen now. It was very nice, I think, to see Mason Mount backheel the ball to Modric a minute ago, though, because he might as well, because everyone else has passed the ball to Modric. So why shouldn't Mason join in?
Yeah, there's been.
Hold on a second, Gonzo. Can you put this comment up for 1 second, just so as I can see if highlighting name thing works? All right. Anyway, we need to go back to this. Where's the There you go. We need to deal with this. This is the topic of half time.
Oh God. Okay.
Yeah.
It's Jeffrey. Okay. I'm Declan's father. If I was Declan's father, he won't be playing for England today. Let's put it that way.
Oh, you punish him. He'd punish him. Would you put him under the stairs or naughty step, whip? What would you do?
Yeah, he's a very naughty boy.
It's a naughty boy.
Yeah, I'd have made sure he stuck with Ireland, really. But then you'd say, well, you clearly don't love him then, but making him play for Ireland. But to be honest, I wouldn't wish that on my worst enemy at the moment. We're absolutely brutal. But no, I'd be very proud to be Declan's dad. He's done very well for himself.
I'd be very proud to be Declan's dad. That's half time. Right, what I'm thinking is a sort of Darth Vader, Luke Skywalker sort of situation going on. So I don't know what they're on. They're on something. They're fighting. It's where he chops his hand off. I think it might be The Empire Strikes Back, possibly the end of The Empire Strikes Back. And he said whatever he says, the immortal words, "You are my son," or something like that. Maybe he says, "I am your father." I don't know. Whatever. I know when he's talking about Princess Leia, he says, "Sister, you have a sister. Your thoughts for her betray you." Oh, anyway. So I'm imagining this thing. So Declan's there, and you're basically saying, "I have one thing to tell you, Declan. You are my son." No, as he falls down.
Yeah, I could see that playing out. Yeah, I could. Yeah, because when it happened first, I won't lie, I was a little bit emotional. I was a bit angry.
Who knows? These are interesting times.
Yeah, who knows what might have happened? The heat of the moment, crimes of passion, and all that stuff. Where you think, it could have been bad for Deck. Yeah, when he told me. I have GP, obviously GP for general practitioner, who they know an awful lot about DNA and things like that. So this is as scientific as you're going to get it. Basically, you're not. We've had it confirmed here on Hammer's chat. You are not. You are not my son. Yeah. He looks like his mum. That's what it is. He looks like his mum.
I don't know what's going on here. They're trying to do something. It's technology again. It's clearly technology again. Anyway, let's get back. Right. So anyway, rather than you being Declan Rice's father, which is news to us all, can you talk football, please? Harry is absolutely right. We should talk football. Okay. Right. Now, what we've discussed in the first half, and if you're just joining us here, in the first half, what we very much felt that was a lot of it. England started well. Croatia settled into the game the longer it went on. Sterling was released on a couple of occasions down the left, and then most threats came from the left, notwithstanding Phil Foden's shot, which we'll talk about in just a second. There certainly seems to be a certain amount of teamwork going on down that left, with combinations from Mount, who seems to be drifting left quite a lot. Raheem Sterling and Trippier is joining them. So he's in a few triangles and a few bits and pieces there. Funnily enough, it's actually the few times that Harry Kane has dropped into the game to try and get more involved, because he hasn't received any service. Let's just say that. Again, he's gone on the left as well. So everything is happening on that left-hand side, but it's not quite creative enough. On the other side, so it seems to be that Mason Mount's got a freer role than if we look on the other side, than Phil Foden. A beautiful technique for him to get in, and he did a beautiful shot, was on the right-hand side, cut in on his left, bent it in, and as somebody wisely said in the chat there, it actually was almost a slight little brush of the defender's toe, which put it onto the post. But it was a beautiful shot. Aside from that, not a lot has been happening there. And I think Phillips has played really, really well. But certainly, Tommy, you had an opinion about, as well as he's playing, he's in the wrong position for a very evident tactical reason.
Yeah, like I said, to me, the problem here is the balance is just completely wrong in the team. I don't want to be like a parrot, but as I know I mentioned.
No, because some people are only tuning in for half time, so you're not. It's fine.
Yeah, so the issue really is what's happening down the left is that we're getting Sterling, whose final ball really is not great, but really where Grealish should be playing, where you need that little bit of trickery. And we've got Mason Mount, who should be more central, playing in the number 10 role, who's pulling out onto that left-hand side all the time to double up with Sterling, which means that Calvin Phillips is playing essentially as the number 10, which is not his role whatsoever. He's a more deeper-lying midfielder. Now, certainly he can get forward and attack the box, but from deeper. He's not a number 10, Calvin Phillips. And then you've got Trippier at left back, who really isn't getting forward at all. And clearly is either been told not to get forward or he's just not comfortable doing it.
Well, they're just checking inside, isn't he? You made the point. If he was naturally left-footed, he would actually overlap Sterling. Yeah. We'd have a crossing situation, and it would make some space for both Mount and Sterling to drift inside a little bit more.
Yeah, so if you've got someone like Chilwell running down that side, who's had a really great season, and won the Champions League, obviously, with Chelsea, and was very good in the Champions League. If you've got him coming down, helping out Grealish on that side, with Mount sticking to his number 10 role, where he can make things happen from there, it's just a much better balance. And it's much more creative in and around the box, because essentially Croatia is sitting back, they're very organised defensively, saying, okay, come and see if you can break us down. And because of the imbalance at the moment, England aren't able to do it. And like you said, because there's so much imbalance on that left, Foden's getting virtually nothing to work with at the moment. And Harry Kane is now dropping back into the number 10 role to try and get on the ball and make things happen. So essentially England have got nobody in the box. So like you said earlier, crosses are a moot point. It's absolutely pointless to try and even cross the ball in. There's going to be no one there. So I think Southgate's had a howler there, to be completely honest. You really ought to have Chilwell at left back with Grealish ahead of him. Those two can dovetail. They can interplay with each other. With Mount in the number 10, Harry Kane can stay at number 9. And then, Foden's going to see more of the ball as well, because the play is going to be getting switched more often as well. So, the imbalance is causing England a problem here and allowing Croatia to defend really quite comfortably. Their keeper, I think, has been called on a couple of times. Like I say, the one that came off the post from Foden hit the inside of the post, actually. He's a little unlucky on that respect as well. It could very easily have hit the keeper in the back and then gone in. It's one of those, but they got lucky with that one, Croatia. There was another half-decent effort from Calvin Phillips, which should have been a routine save, actually, for the keeper, and he made a bit of a hash of it. He spilled it right out in front of him. Luckily for him, there were no England players there to take advantage. So I'd like to see that keeper tested more often, because that one kind of routine enough save he had to make, he didn't look too clever to me. So, Southgate, I think, has caused this issue.
No, absolutely, yes. I just say a massive thank you. Unfortunately, I cannot read your name, but thank you from my friend in Korea, from the Korean Hammers. I mean, don't get any better than the Korean Hammers, like yourself, mate. Well, not that you're not the Korean, you're the Irish Hammers. You know what I'm saying? You're obviously Tommy's not in the Korean Hammers. Thank you very much. Very, very kind of you. There, look, I nobody liked that lineup. Nobody liked that lineup. I don't know what Southgate is up to. I wonder if some way he's trying to justify the fact that he initially took so many right backs. But I will say it once. I'll say it again. There's no way that Kieran Trippier is a better left back than Luke Shaw or Ben Chilwell. You're going to just annoy those two players. You're just going to annoy them. Because they're just going to... It's one thing thinking, oh, no, if you're Luke Shaw thinking, I've got to get past Chilwell to get in the team, It's all right. He was in the Champions League final. It's another entirely to think, hold on a second, there's a right back playing. It's ridiculous. I bet one of them's even thinking, what are we doing here? What on earth are we talking here?
I mean, you can't even imagine, Southgate doesn't fancy them. I mean, these are two quality left backs that England have to choose from.
Absolutely, yes.
Who both have had really, really good seasons. They were clearly the best two left backs in English left backs in the Premier League, and among the best overall. Those two guys, and they've both had excellent seasons. And to choose a right back over there is just a bizarre decision.
Let me just stress this quickly. I didn't hear that, but let me just say, right? I think it's disgusting to boo an opposition national anthem. By the way, I just don't think you should do it. It's so. I don't. The other thing I would say is everyone wouldn't have been booing that. So I would imagine the people that talk about respect are not the same people that were booing the anthem. So I don't think, the English are not hypocrites on that. But whoever was booing the Croatian national anthem, it just shouldn't be done. It's not nice. It's not pleasant. And I hope,
ultimately, what do you get out of it?
None of it. It's just ridiculous.
It's pointless. I mean, you're booing someone's national anthem for what?
I don't know. But we should be pleased that they're here. We should be pleased that you're allowed, after the 18 months we just had, that people are allowed, that football teams are allowed to travel. We should be pleased that we're able to have the tournament here, and the fans should be pleased that they're allowed to be in the stadium. Never mind any of that. I don't get it. No, not at all. You're welcome for addressing it. Sorry, it's just I didn't want to. It's rude. It is rude.
It's unnecessarily rude.
It's also rude to suggest that you might be more proud of your nation and another person is more proud of their nation. It's Anyway, that's that. Okay, so let's deal with the Grealish thing, because I do want to address this as well, because look, we've been this is a watch along, so I know there's new people that have joined and wouldn't have heard some of the thing that we'd said beforehand. We've been very disappointed. I say, well, Tommy's just is a neutral, obviously, and is watching it from a tactical point of view. I've been disappointed with Walker's technique. Certainly, I've been saying that as part of it. I think it's a weird one. I think when you looked at that Champions League final, there was an outstanding right back in that Champions League final, and it wasn't Kyle Walker. He can call on Reece James. Southgate can call on Reece James. So why isn't he playing whatever attributes he thinks that Kyle Walker's got? And I think I know what they are. It's the speed, so the ability to recover. He's not displayed them because he doesn't need to display them. Why? Because they don't have a rapid left winger. It's not needed there. I would imagine that Reece James is comfortably quicker than whoever their Croatia's left winger is. I also think then he offers a lot more in terms of getting up and supporting Phil Foden, who is incredibly isolated and probably the most talented player on the pitch for England at this time. He would get over, he'd overlap, and he's very, very good at crossing. So I would like to see him there. I think the Trippier thing we've already discussed, is causing us issues. Not good at all. And then you've got the Grealish thing there, because I also think there's been a couple of times where Sterling has been played in. And he won a free kick because of the handball situation. But it was another time, I think it was Kane actually it was Mount played a really delicious ball over the top. I mean, realistically, he wanted to bang it with his left foot straight away, but he didn't. He checked back. Okay, the moment you check back, then you have to find another player. And the cross was lacking. I think his technique's been quite poor as well.
Here's the thing, Gonzo, that's been Sterling all season.
Yes, absolutely. But not Grealish.
We've seen what we've seen all season from Sterling. This is not a surprise to anybody. So this is where Southgate, again, as you say, he likes certain players, trusts certain players, and he plays them kind of almost regardless. This is like Grealish in those situations immediately would cause panic.
Yes,
in the Croatian defence, because he's got such quick feet. He's so decisive. He runs directly at people, can skip past them. He can pass the ball very well. I mean, he's on fire. His form has been sensational. And he would be he's ready-made for this game, to break down a team that are trying to defend deep and get numbers behind the ball.
And you made the point, Tommy, but before, you've got particularly these fast players, but there's no space in behind. So actually, having that being said, Sterling did that ball from Mount. There was a bit of space there. So I understand the the need to have a quick player, but
But
mostly
Grealish is quick enough
space.
to make those runs in behind. You know.
No. Yeah, he is. But I understand the need to have that in it. But they are a tough nut to crack. And actually, you are. It's a weird one. It's all right having the spacing behind, but if you have the spacing behind, but you're not going to set up to have crosses, I'm not saying we should be cross-tastic or whatever you want and be crossing it all the time, but to actually say I'm not going to have that particular means of attack in my team, I'm just not going to attack from wide, which is pretty much what we're saying by having two right footers on the left and then a left footer on the right, but the other fullback who doesn't overlap and is not really crossing it anyway. You're cutting crosses. If you're going to cut crosses out of your arsenal, which is what they're doing, then it sort of negates the need for a pace down there anyway. James, thank you, my friend. Buy yourself some doner kebab flavoured Pringles. Do they do them? Do they do doner kebab flavoured Pringles?
Did I miss a meeting? Like,
I don't know.
Is this a new thing?
Doner
kebab?
I don't know. Listen, thanks for the £2, my friend. I'll tell you what I'll do. If there are such a thing as doner kebab Pringles, I'll buy them, and on one of the videos, one of the lunchtime morning videos, I'll the first ever tasting of a doner kebab Pringle. I will do. Right, let's just go for a couple of these. Hello, Gary. Hope you're well, mate. I think you're absolutely right about Southgate. There. Could do with Lingard. Yeah, I mean, look, Lingard would be nice, but I think we've actually got players there. I just think he needs to. Look, square pegs in square holes, whatever, round pegs in round holes, whatever it is. Steve says the frustrating thing is we've got players to win this game. Yeah, absolutely. We just need right. That's exactly right. We do have them. It's a World Cup special edition. I'll be looking forward to those. We don't know, Bob. We've not tasted them yet. We just don't know. The teams are back out now.
Don't see any changes.
Why does someone broken the law and you resign so you drink, drive, not down, get into the privilege of look? If that's the case, then Southgate should come out and say I'm not selecting him because of that. But that's not happened. So if he's in the squad and he's brilliant, then play him. And he is both of that. Anyway, there we go. Right, Walker's still playing. So we're unchanged and we kick off. Is that right, Tommy? From what you can see, we're unchanged.
Yeah, I saw the team coming out. Looks like the same 11.
Okay, I do wonder how long he'll give it. This is the point where I don't want Southgate to be stubborn. I don't want him to say, well, this is my first 11. This is what I picked, and I'm going to leave it on as long as possible to prove me right. I want him to look and say, oh, for goodness sake. I want him to look at it and say, this isn't working, and want to change it. This is really interesting, Gary. I don't know. I'm not sure. I don't think so. I think we can only make 3 subs, right? Have I got that right? Or can we make 5?
Do you know what? I have to plead ignorance on that. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I mean, if so, because I was already thinking actually the one to limit substitutions would be to take Walker off, move Trippier over, and then you've only got to make one substitution to sort out both fullback problems. 5 subs are allowed, but in 3 windows.
Okay.
Oh, well, then in which case there's no reason not to change something that's clearly not working. Why, listen, it's all about winning the game here. England got to win the game. Don't have to. I know. I can't remember who said it. Possibly it was Gary earlier who said, you don't want to lose your first game. That is right. But, it's so. I sort of agree with that attitude, but this squad is so good. England should not. It was 2 English teams in the Champions League final. There are English players on both teams. The Europa League final as well. England have got good players at the moment. Really good players. We shouldn't be, with the players that we've got and the talent at our disposal, be thinking, maybe we're just a point in the first. We should be going to any game thinking a point is good.
No, particularly as this Croatian team are not as good as they were a couple of, 2 years ago in the World Cup. 3 years, excuse me, got delayed a year, but 3 years ago in the World Cup. But this is not as good a Croatian team. This is not a team that England should really be fearing. This approach is a very conservative one from Croatia, not surprisingly. Defensively, England have been very comfortable. Someone's gone down. Yellow card for Perisic. I hope that's not Rice. Is it?
There's a yellow
Rice.
card.
That's Rice.
Oh dear.
Rice.
I'm a little bit ahead of you here, Tommy. So
oh, it's not. Excuse me. It's Foden. Is it Foden?
Oh, it's Mount.
No, Mount.
It's Mount.
Excuse me. Mount. I'm not getting used to their numbers. Mount. Yeah. Yeah, Mount got. But that's Perisic for you. He never changes, does he? He likes it.
That's Kovacic.
Oh, Kovacic.
So you thought it was Perisic on Declan Rice?
Yeah.
It's Kovacic on Mount.
It was.
Stay tuned, folks.
Yeah, teammates. Yeah.
Yes.
he reminded me of
teammates.
that. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I didn't think it was dangerous. So it has to be said.
No, it wasn't. But Mount's smiling. He seems like he's all right. But I'm sure they'll kiss and make up at Cobham when they get back.
There's a lot goes on at Cobham.
There's a lot goes on.
It's very nice. Yeah. It's not a million miles from here, Cobham. It's very nice. You've got to be rich to live in Cobham. Yeah.
Yeah, I just think another issue England had first half was just the tempo wasn't quite there. It was all a bit too deliberate. They just need to move the ball a bit quicker as well. So, but Croatia have come out with a little more intent here, it seems, to get forward. So maybe a more open game here if Croatia do get a little more adventurous.
I agree. I mean, but just looked at it then as Croatia broke, and actually Mings just managed to get the touch. And he has had 3 or 4 really good interceptions. But the more I look at him, the more I do think Gio is right that he's got a mistake in him. There's, it does seem to be the case. I bet he can't wait to get Maguire. That was so telegraphed to make that crossing opportunity. And again, Mings with the clearance out. That there after Mings won the ball, we should have been able to nick that ball and then go on the counter. Just didn't quite happen really. Not that England should be relying on counter-attacking to win this game. Far from it.
Yeah, it's not good enough so far. You have to say, England just haven't threatened nearly enough.
I get the impression with Southgate that Southgate tries to be all things to all men. Southgate, rather than being ruthless and thinking, I will do what I want to do, I think everything he does is a compromise. The Walker inclusion is a compromise. The Trippier one's a compromise. He's almost too bothered by what other people think. I think you've got to be, whatever, Alec Ferguson, Brian Clough, I think you've got to not give a damn when you're a football manager or, whatever on this. I just look at this and I think, what are you doing? Because I think what he hates is what he doesn't want. He doesn't want to be questioned in the press conferences with something that's controversial. But by trying to appease everybody, he does something controversial, like the lineup. And if it doesn't work, he is going to get slaughtered in the press, thus getting the exact thing he's been trying to avoid. Yeah,
and I mean, if this goes all wrong, even if it's like a poor enough 0-0, he'll kind of maybe get away with that a bit because it's not a loss. But, if Croatia were to, smash and grab a 1-0 here, I mean, he's made a rod for his own back, Southgate.
Massively.
I mean, the amount of fodder that the press have, particularly, to go to town on him, is massive here because he's made so many kind of decisions here that seem bizarre, particularly the Trippier one. That's going to be questioned regardless, probably. But with not having Grealish, having Sterling in there instead of Grealish, and having Calvin Phillips playing so far advanced, so he's essentially a number 10. It's just weird all round. And
I think the thing is there are certain things for that not to be an issue afterwards. Okay, so the first thing that has to happen is Raheem Sterling scores, the Grealish decision goes away. England win, Raheem Sterling scores. There's no not the Grealish. The questions go away. Oh, they might be there, but the question goes, oh, Gareth, why'd you not pick Jack Grealish today? He could just turn around and say, I thought Sterling was the better option. He doesn't have to say anything else. If Sterling scored, it's just there. It's over. But he's not making things easy for himself, I've got to say. And again, I wasn't. You've watched the watch along even before you joined me. And thanks for joining me, mate. By the way, it's a lot easier with you here, to be honest with you. Because you're here, and you can talk, and I can look at the comments and watch a bit more of the game, if the truth be told. But I thought in the first 10, 15 minutes, England were okay, and I wasn't complaining about it. And I won't. If it works, here's Foden. Come on, son. Come on, do. Okay, he's marshalled well, but he's marked by 2. At that point there, he's marked by 2. He's had to give it back, and now he's 1 marker. But there's no one really helping him on that side. There's no one running past him.
Yeah, Calvin Phillips was just inside there, and he just doesn't have the instinct for that role. He doesn't have the instinct for making the runs he needs to make. That's why
Yeah.
you need Mount in there, and with Grealish on the other side. So between the three of them, even if they sometimes in those situations, you'll get all three players within the width of the penalty box. Where they can actually all interplay. And they're very, very clever players, all three of them, who can pick out a little dinky pass or a reverse ball.
Yeah.
But we're not seeing that because they're very spread out for one, because there's no overlap coming from fullbacks, which is really what I'm seeing here, which is not helping England at all. There's absolutely no overlap from either side, from Walker or Trippier, none whatsoever, which is one of the things that will help you to stretch a team that are kind of sitting deep and getting numbers behind the ball. So,
well, even look, I mean, let's be fair. Moyes has had his. I know he's sort of addressed it, but Moyes has had his accusers of being too negative. But he will always have the fullbacks overlapping.
Sofal and Cresswell non-stop. Sofal and Cresswell non-stop are overlapping.
Yeah, I mean, it's and look at the wonderful players that England have got. It's like you say, Chilwell overlapping is fantastic at it, and Reece James and these players are really Trippier himself. If played on the right and given a bit of license, it's shackles. The fullbacks are shackles. Additional defensive midfielder. One of arguably the most creative player we have is not in the team. It's as a shot from Croatia. It's easy save. I think it's Modric. Easy save for Pickford. It's sorry. I just want to deal with this because as Jordan's basically, Jordan. Yes, that generally is the thing with these, and you play each team once, and that's why the people will say don't lose your first game, because it then does put the pressure off, and there is a lot to be said for that, and I think historically that's true. But England has got such good players, we shouldn't be looking at that really. But that's it. That's the situation.
Yeah, I'm just looking at, and I'm not picking on Calvin Phillips because he's out of position. I actually really like Calvin Phillips as a player.
Yes.
When he's playing in his proper role. But right now, we're seeing Grealish warming up on the sideline. Right now, I mean, Southgate's got to move. He's got to get Calvin Phillips out, move Mount across into that number 10 role, and get Grealish out on the left.
Yeah, well, I mean, James is saying the same thing. Southgate's got to move. Southgate's got to do something now. I don't know why he needed the additional 10 minutes in this half to see what was evident in the first half. And anyway, you know what? I mean, I don't want to be too, but I just want England to score now. If he gets it right, and one thing that is true about England as well, and I'm not sure, maybe this is true of all teams. Obviously, I only really watch England. Is we do seem to evolve in tournaments. I do remember Bobby Robson in 1990. And it very much by accident, he switched to 3 at the back. The players then told him, actually, that's what we want to play. And we got better because of it. I've seen this on numerous occasions where somebody gets into the team. I can't remember what tournament, but I remember Darren Anderton getting into the England team almost accidentally. I thought, actually, this guy's really good. And so he had to stay in. But it was, okay, come on, Phillips. Do something now. Oh, good ball from Phillips. Goal! Phillips to Sterling. Phillips, I'll tell you what, he's great in that number 10 role, Phillips.
Yeah, well, like I said, he came from deep. Watch it. He came from deep.
I'm joking.
Does that all year at Leeds. That's what he's best at. If he's sitting in and around the box, Phillips, it's not his position. But when he makes those runs from deep, like he just did, because Phillips had dropped back to defend a bit, and England won the ball back, and then Phillips drove from the midfield in towards the box, into the space.
Yeah, listen, that's great. That's great. All I wanted was a bloody goal. So let's have a look. Carl Walker involved, played it to Phillips. Phillips evaded the tackle. We checked inside really well, and Sterling made an excellent run. And he didn't have much time to shoot then, Sterling, so he was being closed down by the defenders. Very central on goal. Just before he got clattered, he struck the ball. It wasn't the best shot in the world, but he just had to get something on it at that point because he was about to be killed. And it sort of hit the goalkeeper. Goalkeeper couldn't save it. You made the observation earlier. The goalkeeper's not the best goalkeeper in the world. You get the impression that that maybe should have. But you know what? That's still a good goal, despite the goalkeeper maybe should have done more. That's a good goal. And Southgate will feel vindicated now. I'm sorry, Steve said, I don't think we deserve it. I'll take it. And James Phillips has been class. Actually, I think Phillips has been excellent. He's really impressed me today, I've got to say. And it was a good goal. That was a good team goal. Well done. Well done, Phillips. Well done, Sterling.
Yeah, I think what you saw there was the space that England had there was space that you didn't see them get in the first half. Because like I said earlier, Croatia seemed to have come out a bit more attacking, a bit more positive. Which is now leaving, and I said it might suit England, actually, that it should suit England, that Croatia are being a bit more positive and are coming out a bit more. And you saw the difference in the amount of space England had when they won the ball back there. And now Croatia have got no choice. They've got to stick with being more positive now. So this will definitely help England's attack to create chances.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, well, I mean, the same rule applies, doesn't it? We've already discussed, don't lose your first game. But Croatia are looking like they might lose their first game. So you're absolutely right, mate. They're going to have to come out and do so. And immediately, now Foden, it's funny, after he scored, Foden's a completely different area of the pitch. We've seen him all game. Foden's thought, well, hold on, if I'm going to get the ball, I better go over there because that's and the irony of our goal coming down the right, of course, where we've shown nothing at all apart from Foden's early shot.
Yeah, but I think, like I say, a lot is to do with Croatia's different attitude in the second half. I think they've had a mare tactically, and their manager. I think he should have been delighted at halftime, and he should have said, this is exactly what we want. We're stifling them completely. They're going to get frustrated. As the game goes on, keep doing what you're doing. But for some reason, he sent them out, obviously, and said, right, let's get more attacking, let's get more players forward. And I think that suited England.
And he was now just central again there, Foden again. So that's obviously been an instruction to, at least he's noticed Foden was isolated, and now he's getting more involved in the game, which is really good. And Declan's being asked to do a little bit more in the middle there. A little bit more responsibility. He's not got as much help there.
Yeah,
but that's
fine.
I
was thinking actually, there's no need for two sitting midfielders here. 4-1-4-1 is absolutely fine here because Croatia have not offered much going forward. I think a flat back four with Declan in front is more than enough to deal with.
I agree. Harry Kane won a good what you might call a breather free kick there. Very good from Kane. And Foden very left there. Now the overlap with Trippier, but Mount just can't get it to him.
Yeah, Mount just held onto the ball.
But you're right. There you go. Well, we haven't seen that very much. The fullbacks bombing past whoever might be occupying a wide midfield position at any given time. Again, Foden, look where he's demanding the ball.
Yeah, this is where you want him.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, now we're looking at it. And now, I know it didn't... Come on, Kane. Oh, my goodness. I hope he's not injured.
He's not happy. I don't know. He's holding his ribs. Let's just have a look at the replay and see where he's clattered the post here. Oh, yeah, it's done him in the ribs. Oh, that's got to be painful.
Hopefully it's all right. It's hard to tell how much momentum he had.
He's going to have bruises.
Okay, that'll hurt. Joe Watt, it'll seem quite maybe about there.
It's in the ribs, yeah. Souček would already be up.
Souček would have scored.
Yeah, remember Souček clattered off the post and apologised to it. Yeah.
Yes.
Oh, sorry about that post. It almost broke you.
Absolutely. Yeah, paid the post some compensation. I did like there, aside... Come on, Kane, sort it out. I say sort it out. I just don't want him to be injured. I don't expect him to treat himself.
Yeah, I don't think he hit it that hard.
No.
I think he would have felt it, and it'll be a bit sore, maybe a little bruising, but I think he should be all right. He might have to get some strapping on it, for a couple of days, maybe. But
I'd still like just Dennis here. I'd still like to bring Grealish on. I don't. That's what I don't want to happen. Just because we got one go up, we don't bring Grealish on. Grealish still needs to come on. It should have. Clayton says, "How was that not a goal?" It really should have been a goal. But what I did like there was we made the little break, and even though it didn't happen because Mount actually crossed it for Harry Kane, which is the right thing to do because Harry Kane was in there, which is why we weren't crossing the ball in the first half. So what I did like is if he hadn't chosen to do that, Foden was near him for the 1-2 if they wanted to do something, and that's what you got to do with these technical players: get them near each other. But too much of that first half, Foden was nowhere near Mason Mount, who's the other technical player.
Yeah, like I'm saying to you, if you can get the overlap, fullbacks overlapping, and you can get the likes, if you had, say, Grealish, Mount, and Foden, they can play in the width of the 18-yard box. They can get close to each other, play those clever little passes, make those clever little runs, and that would be very difficult, even for a well-organized Croatian defense to deal with, because the movement and their ability to play those clever little passes is fantastic. So, and like I say, we're seeing that now. Mount and Foden are getting in and around that penalty area closer to each other, where they can link up, and it's because Trippier now finally is starting to get forward and overlap with Mount, so Mount can come in a little bit and play on that inside left channel rather than being out near the sideline.
Absolutely. Just to tell everybody, as soon as this game is finished, I will end this brutally at the final whistle, and then I'll be jumping over to do the review with Gio, which is over on the main channel. Who obviously Gio will be delighted with West Ham being 1-up, with England being 1-0 up. Of course.
But he will. He actually they
no,
need
you're right.
Croatia to lose this game.
Yeah.
Scotland.
Yeah. It's funny. Sorry, it's my daughter. He jumped. It looked so fake. I don't know what she's talking about. She's not talking about me. I don't. I'll tell you what though. The guy that went down, the Croatian guy that went down, and you often think. I think sometimes some people are so entrenched in time wasting that they actually just do it automatically without applying the context of the game. Mate, you're behind. You need to score a goal. You rolling around and trying to waste time is benefiting England.
It's almost like a robot that's been programmed to do it and can't help but do it. Regardless. Right. It's another one I see in games a lot. It's a team that are losing and they commit a foul and they hold on to the ball. They just hold on to the ball. And then you see the player whose team are ahead and are trying to waste time, trying to get the ball off him. I'm saying, let him have it.
That's right. Yeah, you're right. Yeah. Apply the context of the scoreline. Yeah.
But,
okay, was that a good stop? Was that Stones? That was a good stop from Stones there.
Half chance there for Croatia, but Rebic completely mishit it. He hasn't had a sniff either, Rebic. He must be frustrated.
Yeah, I mean, one thing I would say about Croatia is they're slow, which I think you've got to have someone, ideally more than one quick player. Okay, so won the ball back really well then. I think
that's a dive.
Come on, Mount. What's Mount?
That's a very soft one. I don't know. I want to see that again. I didn't see where he's caught him.
It was soft. Yeah, it was soft. I think you're 3-4 seconds ahead of me somewhere.
I am. It's a little.
You'd like to see him carry on, I guess, a little bit, but no, it's still good play because he's won the.
Yeah, I think the ref saw the arm around the waist, and that's why he's pulled it back. That's why he's given them the yellow as well.
Say hi to Brazil.
Hello, Brazil. I don't know what time it is there. Pretty early in the morning still, I think. Is it morning time? Good morning, Brazil. How are you?
Good morning, Brazil.
Right, well, Trippier's nowhere near this. Mount's going to obviously take this one. I want to see one of those. Remember that Beckham one where he completely done the keeper who thought he was going to go near post and then just swept it in at the far post. So a beautiful curl on it. Can't remember who that was against, but this is what this needs. Well,
I think Mount will be saying I'm having this because you fluffed it up, but actually the only
he's done it. Oh, almost.
Do you mind?
Sorry,
he's done it. Oh,
he's done what I said. He's done the keeper, isn't he? He's given him the eyes near post and then curled it the other way.
Yeah,
I think he had a goal, folks.
Not a goal.
He maybe had it covered the keeper, but
I think he did.
Yeah. But good effort.
You don't know with this fella.
Yeah, you never know. He's a bit dodgy, this keeper, but. Yeah, I have to remember that you're behind me a bit, and maybe some of the people in the chat are as well. So I need to keep my mouth shut.
Right. Anyway, yeah. Or are you watching on telly?
Yes, I'm watching it on Irish national television. Our broadcaster here are brilliant when it comes to these tournaments. They show every single game.
What's the broadcaster called?
RTE, Radio
Uh,
Telefisheren.
can you pause it?
No, I don't think I can
Okay.
actually.
If you could pause it, you could pause it for 5 seconds.
That's fine. It would be different now if I was watching Ireland. I might not be able to contain myself all the time.
No.
But, okay. Looks like Rashford's coming in.
I wonder who he'll bring him on. He might be bringing him on for Kane if Kane's injured. Don't rule that out.
Kane looks okay. I'm thinking. I don't know. He might bring Sterling off here. He probably feels he can take Sterling off maybe here without annoying him too much because he scored. But...
he may feel that if they're going to push up, it's another fast player on. I would have started as you.
I'll tell you what. I think Sterling's one of his boys. I think he's going to.
I think you're right.
Off. I think Foden's coming off.
Yeah. Yeah. Do you know what? That wouldn't surprise me. Yeah, I mean, it's not quite seeing the game out, is it? But that wouldn't surprise me.
Yeah, I think he probably feels now that Croatia are going to start taking more chances and there'll be more opportunities to
put the ball in behind. Yeah,
and to catch them on the break, and he just maybe wants a little bit more pace in there. So I suspect Sterling won't come off for that reason. That it would be Foden.
Yeah, well, do you know what? As I say, it doesn't. I shouldn't be because it should be about England and not Jack Grealish. But I still would like to see. You just want to be entertained, don't you? A bit. I think. I just I do want to see. I do. I said the other day I wasn't even sure. I said to Jim, he might be my favourite player that's not at West Ham. Do you know what I mean? To watch, sort of thing.
I think because he gives. Even for me, as a more of a neutral watching, even I, if I'm watching this England game, I still want to see Grealish on because he gives you that same kind of thing. Like when the ball goes to Lingard, remember especially those first few games when Lingard was absolutely on fire. Every time the ball went to Lingard, you just kind of set up a little bit. I was like, oh, this guy's going to do something.
Yeah.
That level of excitement goes up. And you feel like something might happen here. And Grealish gives you that same thing. He gets you excited when he's on the ball that he might be about to do something brilliant here.
Yeah, absolutely. Hello, Leonardo, by the way. Good morning, sir. Good morning. I think he's been all right, Alex. I think he's been all right. I think he's made at least 4 telling interceptions or clearances or whatever. You're right. It's Foden going off. It's
predictable.
It is predictable, isn't it? It is. There's a bit. Listen, I'm not down on Moyes. I love Moyes. I do. But there's a bit of that there. Do you understand? Am I wrong here? There's a bit of Moyes and Benrahma going on here, maybe.
Yeah, it seems that way. Although to be fair, he did start Phil. And he got 70 minutes, so I'm sure he won't complain too much. But
I mean, BC said Grealish is a crowd lifter. Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest. I've listened to all this on mute. So I don't know if the crowd are silent or noisy. I should have. I'll sort it out for the next one. I'll actually get some headphones. I'm sure I can get some headphones with a telly.
Yeah, I agree. Mings has been done well today, but this won't be one of the sterner tests he'll have. It's been relatively straightforward defensively for England today. Croatia generally haven't really offered a whole lot going forward. So, there'll be tougher days ahead for Mings if he's going to still. But I suspect once Maguire is available.
No, absolutely. I tell you what, the one thing that Southgate's got to consider here is that I don't think England are as defensively sound as he would like. So we've had a couple of mistakes.
Yeah.
And Croatia have had 6 attempts, 6 shots, right? I hope Southgate isn't thinking, well, this is it. This is game 1, and that's why I don't need to bring someone like Grealish on. Actually, I think there's still something to be said for scoring another goal here because it don't take much, and it's 1-1.
Well, that's it. Yeah, one really good attack, one great ball from someone like Modric, or one defensive error, and all of a sudden it's 1-1. And
good defending from Walker there. Good defending.
So England are just starting to sit back a little bit here, Gonzo.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
They're conceding ground and conceding possession a bit more here. So, this obviously Croatia maybe not a great team, but technically, obviously they're going to be very good. They got some really tidy players in there. So if you're going to let them play a lot more in and around your box, England are going to have to be, really switched on defensively and
Oh my words. Okay. So I think again he shielded the. Let's give. I mean, so I've spent the first half being pretty harsh on Walker. Well, I wasn't harsh. I wasn't harsh on him. I was just saying that his technique was poor, and it was. His distribution, he gave the ball away 4 or 5 times. He's actually defended rather well in the last few minutes. So I know there wasn't much there, but he was. His positioning was sound.
It was, and Rebic was sniffing around there trying to get in the end of that. So he did well to shield the ball. Harry Kane's done another one of his backing in and then falling down free kicks. So
I like this, Mr. Collingwood. I like this. I would agree with that. I like him. I like Saka. I really do. He's got both attributes. He's got the pace and the technique, which is that a vapor that you've got there?
Yes.
What flavour syrup? Is it syrup that you have in it?
Yeah, I suppose it's kind of like a syrup. It's quite a thick liquid, actually. Yeah.
What flavour is that?
It's just menthol. Just menthol.
Oh,
it's nice minty kind of taste, but
you don't fancy a. What's going on?
What's going on is
Raheem. Hello. Is that? Oh my goodness, he's done it again.
Raheem Sterling is still Raheem Sterling.
He's still going to the Michael Antonio soccer school for long shots. Yeah.
That's horrendous shooting from there.
Like
I'm not very good whatsoever, obviously, and my eyes would light up if a ball come back to me like that. I'm thinking I'm definitely getting this.
Well, I could do what he just did.
Yeah.
I could definitely do that. I could definitely shank the ball off the outside of my foot.
John Stones is struggling here.
You don't really need this. There's no doubt he's played, because I do think Mings has played well, although I do think he's made a mistake, but it didn't.
I'm just wondering. Oh, it looks like cramp, actually. He's pulling his toes back, so it might be just cramp. I think.
But I think he's played a part in Mings playing well, obviously.
Yeah, it's just cramp. He'll be all right. But Strange has got cramp. I mean, it hasn't been a particularly kind of tough game defensively, I wouldn't think, but he'd played in much more difficult games defensively and maybe more running, because England controlled quite a lot of possession, particularly in the first half. So, it's strange to see him go down with cramp.
Absolutely,
In the first game as well of the tournament, it's not like this is game 5, or something where the heavy schedule and played a lot of games in short time.
It's just funny. You can't have too many. You can't have too many, Mr. Collingwood. You really can't. You can't have too many right backs. We know this.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd be very interested to see if Harry Maguire is back for the next game.
Yeah, I haven't heard the latest on his progress. But
the next game's Sterling. The next game is Scotland.
Yeah, he was involved in training, wasn't he, the other day?
I don't know.
I thought I saw him pictures of the England training camp, and Maguire was kitted out. Now, how much he was doing, I don't know, but he can't be far off, surely. I mean, he's got to be doing some training on grass already. I mean, to include him in the squad.
Yeah, and I don't know. Listen, I think it's been a big mistake for lots of successive England managers over the years. They pick injured players. I think in that instance, I sort of get it, because he is that much better than anyone else. And you are dealing with, as I say, I think Mings has played well enough, but you are dealing with the unknown. With Ben White, you're dealing with the unknown. We've seen for West Ham this season at close quarters quite how easily Connor Cody can be torn apart. So I do. I sort of understand that with Maguire. Yeah.
How are you feeling about Declan today? I think he's had a fairly straightforward job to do. He hasn't been pressed really today, has he? He hasn't.
I don't honestly. I don't think the game has actually operated too much in his area of the pitch.
It hasn't. No, Croatia working the ball down the sides all the time. They're not even trying to come through the middle.
Yep.
So I think Declan's had a fairly straightforward day.
Which is good. Which is good for him to ease himself into, the first match of a tournament.
Yeah, he's just made a nice interception there. Good positioning.
Yeah. Fantastic. There you go. That's what he does.
So that's all he's had to do really today. Just keep his positioning right, and there's been no frills really. So that's good.
Yeah. He has. I just want, again, I want Southgate to do something now. Now, 77 minutes, 78 minutes. Now's the time to do something else before it just. The last few minutes have seemed to have been in England's half.
Yeah.
I've not seen us in their half very much. And that's, and that takes tactics and analytics all out, about, just looking at it. We've sort of seemed to have been that end of the television screen for a little bit too long for my liking. I want us to go down the other end of the pitch,
Yeah, and I think this is where you want ball carriers now.
You're right.
Someone who can pop the ball out to, who can turn and just go with the ball and bring the ball out into the middle of the field, wait for a little bit of support, pop it off. It's a little too defensive from England's position. Okay, Croatia aren't troubling too much. Pickford hasn't really been troubled. But, like you say, at 1-0, all it takes is a moment, an error from a defender, or just a piece of brilliance from someone like Modric. Southgate really needs to get players on here now who are going to be able to get possession and keep it.
I think I'll tell you what, actually, just before that, really pleased for anyone that's gone to this game today, just to get out the house, go to a football match, in a nice sunny day. What's the weather like for you over there today?
It's decent. It's not as nice as there. It's a little more overcast. So we're getting kind of sunny spells, but it's nice and warm. A little bit humid, but it's decent. Just not blue skies, unfortunately.
Sure. Go on, Kane. It's just where his pace lets him down there, Harry Kane, just slightly. I think he'll be slightly frustrated. Look, he'll be delighted to win the game, but he won't feel that the team have been out giving the ball very much.
If you watch here, just watch them bringing the ball out here. It's just very passive. Very passive from the likes of Kane and Rashford and Mount. They're just they're not pressing when Croatia have the ball at the back, and I think they need to start. Those players need to start pressing them and making it more difficult for them to get the ball out. They're waltzing into England's half at the moment, without being tested at all. It's just
that's a good observation, mate. It's I guess they're just defended by numbers, but it's a bit, it's deeper than you'd want it to be.
Yeah,
when we run the ball back there.
Yeah, every England player's in their own half here.
Yeah, and there's no outball. Kane is not an outball because he's not quick enough. Yeah, you've got both Sterling and Rashford on the pitch. Why is not one of them on the halfway line?
Yeah, we've got Bellingham coming in now.
I really like this kid.
Yeah,
I really like this kid.
This will be for who though? Will it be for Mount? Or will it be for Calvin Phillips?
Phillips.
I'd imagine it's one of those two.
Yeah, be for Phillips, surely. Yeah, it will be for Phillips. But I'm pleased to see this. I am really pleased to see this kid on. He's gonna have 80 to 100 caps for England. He's sensational.
He's a huge prospect.
And this is
Harry Kane is off.
Oh, for goodness sake. Listen, I like this kid on. I really do. I guess he'll push Rashford up.
This is
it's another Southgate move. I mean, it really is. Look, Kane's got a knock, clearly. Okay? Clearly, that's fine. But, let's...
Seems fine. If you watch Kane here, you'll see him in a second. He seems all right, isn't it? I think this is purely tactical.
It's odd. His decision-making has been odd. Look, England win the game. It's great. It's fine. But from the moment that the squad was announced, let's say, to the starting lineup, to now you're looking at it's odd to substitute. I'm delighted to see Bellingham on, by the way.
Yeah. But yeah, but I mean, you have to think of this in
So
terms
good,
of.
so good.
Hang on a sec. But you have to think of this in terms of the tournament, not just today, right?
Absolutely.
So it's a little bit worrying going forward. Look, you probably get away with it today and get your 1-0, and you've got your 3 points, fine. But going forward, you have to wonder, about the decision making from Southgate in games against superior opposition, where these decisions may actually cost England dearly.
Yeah, I'm look. You know what? I want to enjoy. Look, I'm going to enjoy the win. I think I'm going to, if it is a win, but I can't quite believe we're going to win yet because of the way we're playing. I just get the other goal. All right, comfortable catch and pick for them, but you just don't want them attacking you. I want to attack them. We've conceded. We conceded intent.
Yeah,
that's what England have done here. Where's our intent to attack? I know Rashford. There was a ball for and Rashford to chase it, but we've basically conceded the intent and the control of the game. For most of this game, up until the point we scored, we've probably had more possession.
Yeah.
Why? I just don't get this, and I hate to see it. And with the players that at England's disposal, we should still have the most possession. We should be carrying the ball into their half more than we are. And this is not the way. Even Italy are the guys that are known for being defensive. Look at them the other day. They still get over that Spinazzola geezer on the left, just overlapping, and the little number 10 that was playing in front of him, Insigne or something like that. I don't know. Absolutely wonderful. I just don't like to see this. I really don't.
Yeah, I think the word I used a little while ago was passive, and
passive. Yeah,
that's how it looks to me. I can't believe how passive England's players are being here. And no, I don't think this is the manager telling everyone, get back in your own half. You'll see something in games. We've often seen it, Gonzo. Players will start doing it themselves. Where Southgate here should be shouting at these players like, "Get up the pitch, get up the pitch, press them high. Let's not concede this ground to them." Because in this situation, I mean, from a tactical point of view, you should have Croatia exactly where you want them.
This post here, that post right there, that's so right.
Yeah. I mean, like I said, tactically, you should have Croatia right where you want them here. They're in a position now, late in the game, where they should be having to take chances they don't want to take and wouldn't normally take, pushing bodies forward and leaving themselves open at the back. And with the talent that England have, the players have got out there now on the pitch, they should be punishing Croatia for what they're doing.
Yeah.
But instead, they're making this essentially risk-free for Croatia. To push bodies forward.
I'll tell you what, John Stones did really well then, because Saletazar or whatever his name is was all over him, and he's considerably bigger than him as well.
Yeah, this should not be risk-free for Croatia right now. They should be getting punished.
I like that. That's a good point. It's risk-free attacking, yeah.
Because England are too passive.
Absolutely, there's no threat. There's no threat.
Yeah, they should, they're in a position, like I'm saying, they're over-committing bodies forward. And with the players England have out there, they should be getting punished for this.
Yeah.
They should be getting caught on the counter-attack with regularity.
Yeah. You know what happens? I mean, there hasn't been an awful lot of injuries. That's a heavy ball from Sterling. There haven't been an awful lot of injuries. But again, you get, when the fourth official comes up with a thing and it says 3 or 4 or 5 minutes or whatever it's going to say, you get the impression that is a good moment for Croatia, and England think, oh God, and that's just it's wrong. It shouldn't be that way.
No, and you suspect, hearing the amount of injury time being announced would probably make England decide, right, we're ultra defensive now, just gonna, because it's injury time, we're not thinking about scoring anymore. Now it's all about getting through injury time at 1-0. Psychologically, that's where you go to, isn't it? And it shouldn't. England shouldn't be in this position.
No, about that, what Glenn says there, I think is right. I think Southgate would be very, very pleased with this. And actually, I did when we did thanks for everybody that did sign up for Scarito. Thanks very much. You to do the prediction on it. I had this as 1-0 because in this manner, I don't know, but I'm not wholly surprised by this. So
Yeah, well, I suppose Croatia are a decent side. They're not cannon fodder. So
no.
And England, generally tend not to overly impress in the group stages.
Or at all. The knockout stages. Yeah, we just qualify basically. So what's happened here?
A clash of heads, is it? Or he's got. I don't know if it's clash of heads or if he's got done with a forearm. I think clash of heads on Rashford. Yeah, it's accidental clash of heads. It's Bellingham, excuse me.
Oh, it's that's a bang, really.
One of these days, I'll get the name of the player right first time.
You. Actually, earlier on, it wasn't even after you realised it wasn't Declan Rice, you said it was somebody else, and then it was Mount. Declan Rice.
I've got through half the team and eventually got round to it, but looks like Calvert-Lewin is going to come in now as well.
Well, and also I think this is silly because if I can't remember who clarified this, but if you can make up to 5 substitutions, but you can only make 3, you can only do it in 3 intervals.
Yeah.
You sort of think, okay, mate, well, if you're going to do that substitution, then make 2 of the guys at one time. At least you're then leaving yourself with another substitution.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? Or it is a weird one.
Yeah. So Calvert-Lewin now presumably so England can boot the ball over the top to him.
Well, I mean, he's not rapidly quick.
No, but he's got probably enough pace, I suppose, that he's be faster than Kane, I think, wouldn't he?
Yes.
Yeah. So. And probably, I hate to say it, but it's Southgate we're talking about. He probably feels like Calvert-Lewin would be great defending corners or crosses.
You're probably right.
Set pieces.
I think Steve's right here, by the way.
Yeah.
And I don't listen. I mean, I started saying this from the first 5 minutes of watching this game. I thought Phillips was excellent. So it's not a problem with that. And I say the longer the game went on, the more I said Phillips will play his way into the first. It'll be very, very hard to drop. I think he did very good. But I do agree about this. It's gonna be interesting. You don't.
Yeah, but see, the thing is, he could do that against Scotland again, and it'll be fine.
You're right, but I don't think Scotland will be watching this thinking. I reckon Scotland will watch this thinking, hold on, we can have a go at this lot. I think Scotland will be watching this fear in England.
No, nobody will, but it's. I know, people say, look, it's tournament football, just get the win, get the 3 points. Yeah. And of course, it's the most important thing, is to get the 3 points. And tournament football is kind of funny, form-wise as well. I remember when Italy won the World Cup, I think they barely scraped out the group stage on goal difference or something, like by 1 goal, and then went on and won the World Cup. So you never quite know with tournament football. Teams can scrape through group stage and then go on and do really well. And we've seen what World Cup.
Thank you, Jason. Sorry. Thank you, Jason, mate. Thank you very, very much indeed, my friend.
What was the World Cup where Argentina looked absolutely unstoppable in the group stage and then got knocked out in the quarterfinals, and were poor in that game, a few years back. So you never quite know. The group stage only tells you so much. You can only read into it so much. But the worry isn't really so much that they haven't performed brilliantly. It's just the decision-making from the manager, which you feel might cost them later on, rather than the actual performance itself, if that makes sense.
Sure. No, I agree. I find the whole, I don't know, I find the whole thing a little bit. Do you know what? A win is great. It didn't. I almost think this is a bit of a risky way to get a win. I think there's better ways, and ways that are probably more likely to yield a win for England than this way. I think it's almost England going about it it's the hard way to win a game of football, right? And it has risk. I'm not saying send everybody forward all the time. I'm not saying don't have a defensive midfielder. Just think that you can attack a bit more, and not rely on 1-0 defense, because that's what England have done here. England have done.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, really, the attitude you would like to see from England here, no matter whether it's 0-0, 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, is we're better than you. We're going to take you on 1 versus 1, 11 versus 11, and we're going to beat you. And that's what you'd like to see. And what we're seeing here really is the opposite. We're seeing England just sit back and say, right, now we're just going to try and play this cagey, try and make sure we don't make any mistakes to let them back in. It's not positive enough for me. I think England's attitude should be completely different here, like Italy against Turkey, like you said. Italy,
right, Tommy, I'm going to cut you off, mate, because I'm going to go in a minute. Thank you. I want to thank you. Right, I mean, you've made this a lot easier. With you've been tactical insight and just been generally a friendly chap. So thanks, mate. I really appreciate it.
Please tell me you and Gonzo are both doing the Scotland game.
Yeah. Absolutely. Which, funny enough, is exactly what West Ham Fan TV best moments. Yes. Obviously, GOM did a watch along for the Czech game, which could be really interesting. You know, lots of West Ham fans, the Czech West Ham fans as well. You know, if you know what I mean. Which is going to be great. I am going to go as soon as the final whistle goes here. Thanks. We're going to do a review straight away. Myself and Gio are going to do a review. It's over on the main channel, so I'll just close this down, go straight over to the main channel, fire it up. Thanks for everybody for watching as well. Don't normally do this, but it's been nice. It's sort of flown by a little bit, but largely due to everybody chatting in the chat and Tommy's fine company, not because England have been particularly swashbuckling. But we'll take the win unless something happens in the last 5 seconds. And I will end this broadcast quite abruptly. It has to be said. Is he going to blow the final whistle? Is he not going to blow the final whistle? Come on, referee! It's been going on for ages now. I have got it on mute, so I can't hear the final whistle. So,
was there a substitution made in the injury time?
Maybe the Calvert-Lewin one was. He's been terrible since he came on.
Yeah, it could be an extra 30 seconds on here.
He's done nothing, Calvert-Lewin, since he came on, does he? Can you imagine? Just imagine if that had gone.
Look at Southgate.
Oh, come on, Southgate! Ridiculous. I'm going. Thank you, Tommy. I'll see you later. Thank you, everybody, for watching. Take care. Jump onto the main channel. We're going to go live right now.